Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Astrodify. Today we are going to discuss about the most curious topic which each and every person wants to know about. It is wealth. Everyone has a question that whether I will get this amount of wealth, that amount of wealth, or whether I will get a wealth or not. I will be able to uh, achieve this amount of monetary gains or not. So I thought that I should make a video on this because everyone is curious about knowing that how much amount of money they are going to get and how much amount of wealth they are going to have in their life. So let's talk about that. Before proceeding, I would just like to say that the viewers who want to see this video in Hindi can click on the link shown below and they can watch this whole video in Hindi as well. So let's move further. So let's first talk about the, as usual, what is the Karak planet, because Karak is the base. Karak planet is the foundation. So the foundation planet for the wealth, that is the Karak for wealth in Vedic astrology, is Jupiter, and the main planets which are responsible for the accumulation of wealth or monetary gains are Venus, Rahu, Jupiter and Moon. These are the four planets which are responsible or which represent the monetary gains, the wealth section of the life through Vedic astrology. Then the houses which control the wealth are second house and 11th house. The second house is represents your hoarded wealth, your finances. Then the 11th house represents your monetary gains, your wishes and hopes, your gains through your network circles. So that 11th house represents. So these are the two houses which collectively represents the wealth section of the native. Then let's talk about the various combinations which are considered as dhan yogas. Dhan yogas are the yogas for achieving the wealth easily and efficiently, and for having it for a long period of time also. So dhan yogas, what are various types of dhan yogas? Let's talk about that. So first type which gives you wealth is second lord. The lord of the second house is placed in the 11th house. The lord of the 11th house is placed in the second house. That is, there is a parivartan yoga between the 11th house and the second house. Parivartan yoga is the yoga when when two planets interchange their signs, interchange their ruling signs. Like Mars is like for example, Mars is in the second house, in the house of say Capricorn, and Saturn is in the house of Saturn is in the house of Mars. So when their sign are exchanging, then this is known as Parivartan Yoga. Now this next type is when second lord is placed in the second house itself and 11th lord is placed in the 11th house itself. Then if a well placed Rahu, a good Rahu, is placed in the 11th house, especially in the sign of Taurus and Virgo, represents that a person is going to achieve huge amount of wealth, because Rahu is giving monetary gains here in a very huge manner. So this Rahu represents signifies that that a person will achieve a huge amount of wealth. Then Venus placed in a good sign in second house represents that person is going to achieve wealth throughout his life, even though his expenditure may increase, but the income source will uh, never be hampered, will never be stopped. So the next yoga which comes here is when the 10th lord and 11th lord are together in good houses like Kendra houses and Trikona houses. When ninth lord and first lord are together, this also represents a Dhan Yoga, because this is known as Vishnu Lakshmi Yoga. The first house is known as Vishnu Sthan, and the ninth house is known as the Lakshmi Sthan. So when Vishnu and Lakshmi are combining, then wealth is achieved. Then ninth and 11th house Lord are together. This also represents a Dhan Yoga. Then second Lord and 11th Lord are together in a combination and placed in Kendra houses, Trikona houses, or second or 11th houses. This is a very good or powerful Dhan Yoga. So now this what we have talked about are various kinds of Dhan Yogas. Now these Dhan Yogas you should have to see in the D1 chart, that is the Lagna chart, and the same pattern you have to see, these same Dhan Yogas you have to see in the D9 chart, which represents wealth throughout your life, because D9 is representing your life after the middle age. So what will be the condition after your middle age, that you have to see through D9 chart or Naumansha chart. The next chart we have to see is the Hora chart. Hora chart is only the Sun Hora and Moon Hora. There is no other Hora. The Sun Hora and Moon Hora. The Sun Hora is the chart which is ruled by whose ascendant is Leo, and the Moon Hora is the Hora chart whose ascendant is Cancer. So you have to see D9 as well as Hora chart for uh, predicting about the wealth, for knowing about the wealth of the person. Then actually these are the yogas that give wealth, and the person is getting the wealth throughout his life. But what about the yogas when you are unable to achieve the wealth, when you are unable to achieve the money, your income is being stopped, you are uh, you are taking loans, you are having a huge amount of debts on you, then what are the yogas for that? The yogas for that, the planets or the yogas which create this situation are, first which creates this mostly which I have seen is when weak Mars and Saturn. Weak planet is a planet which is uh, either debilitated and is very less in degrees strength wise, it is very low in strength, it is very less in degrees, it is in a enemy sign, and it is not in a good sign, it is placed in a bad house. So and it is aspected by malefic planets, functional malefic and natural malefic planets, then that planet becomes the weak planet of the horoscope. So when weak Mars and Saturn are are together and influencing the 6th house and 12th house and the moon, then the person is unable to achieve a huge amount of wealth, and he is always uh, leading his life by taking debts, because if he has to do anything he will have to take debts. So his the debts are increasing day by day if this combination is there, because the weak Saturn and Mars produce this combination, produce this result. Then the next thing is a badly placed Rahu in the 11th house. A badly placed, well placed Rahu gives immense wealth, but a badly placed Rahu in the 11th and second house gives you a lot of expenditure, unwanted expenditure. You will have to spend your wealth on unwanted things, the wealth will just vanish away. The income will come and it will go. It will not, you will be not be able to save a penny even in this condition. Then a debilitated planet, like I said, a weak planet is placed in second house or 11th house, and that planet which is placed in second and 11th house is close to ascendant lord and as well as ascendant and the moon degree wise. It is close to all three of these degree wise. All three of these, that is ascendant lord and moon, the second and 11th, the planet which is placed debilitated in a weak planet is placed in the second and 11th house is close to the moon, ascendant lord and ascendant degree wise, hampers the wealth section. This creates this results in a situation where the wealth is not wealth will not come easily, and if it will come, you will not be able to save anything. And most importantly, in this condition, the debts increases, the expenditure increases more than even debts. So because in this condition sometimes it happens that you have uh, to fulfill the expenditure, you have to take the debts. So uh, these are various conditions, but there is a solution to it. I'm not going in detail because for each and every horoscope the planets are different, because for each and every horoscope the ruling planets are different. So uh, in general I am just telling that most of the cases where wealth is a problem for the native to achieve, there the problem is the weak Jupiter. You notice yourself that if you are facing a problem wealth wise and finances wise, then your Jupiter will not be strong. I bet it will not be strong. So your Jupiter is creating all these problems, and as Jupiter is the Karak planet, so wealth will never sustain. So there is a mantra for Jupiter which you can recite 108 times a day, but you have to recite with full concentration and you have to spell it correctly. Okay, so there is a mantra which you have to recite, because this is a general, I am telling this that this is a general solution. This is not a specific solution, because then you have to see each and every specific planet according to the horoscope, but in general Jupiter will not be strong. So you have to recite 108 times a mantra which I am going to tell you each and every day, so that your wealth condition increases, your financial condition of the house or your financial condition of yourself increases. It, your deterioration which is being created day by day, it gets reduced. So the mantra is Om Gram Greem Grom Sah Gurve Namah. Om Gram Greem Grom Sah Gurve Namah. So this is the mantra and it is shown below also. You can read and then pronounce it. And this is the mantra which you have to recite 108 times a day if you are facing the problems related to finances, and your wealth is decreasing day by day and your debts are increasing. So this will help you a lot. Now if you are this was my knowledge regarding this subject, and if you are new to the channel, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button shown below. And if you have any queries regarding some astrological concept or your horoscope, you can mail me on my email ID shown in the description. So we will meet in the next video dealing with some other curious topic, and till then, goodbye, thank you.